Welcome to Dare to Soar with your host, Dr. RC. Dr. RC will empower, encourage, and strengthen you. She will help you to soar to your highest potential while instilling hope. Please welcome the host of Dare to Soar, Dr. RC.
Good Saturday morning, Eagle family. Oh, yes, here is another hour with me, Dr. RC. And yes, of course, absolutely, this is Dare to Soar. I'm so excited. You know, guys, I always tell you that I'm so excited every Saturday morning, but I really am excited when I have the opportunity to come to you and you spend the hour with me. I want to share with you the topic for this morning. Social work in the age of artificial intelligence. Yes, artificial intelligence. That's where we are. Balancing heart and innovation. I have with me this morning Dr. Marina Badillo-Diaz, but let me tell you a bit about her before we jump right into our questioning for this morning. She is an experienced school administrator and counseling director with a demonstrated history of working in community mental health and K through 12 education as a social worker. Currently, she is a consultant focusing on the training of educators and social workers with MABD Consulting. That is her practice. She is also a board member of the National School Social Workers Association of America and adjunct professor at Columbia University and New York University. Dr. Badillo-Diaz is a creator of the AI Social Worker blog, a pivotal resource offering guidance on the 21st century skills and AI applications for social workers. Her professional interests are diverse, and it includes 21st century skills, social emotional learning, programming, school social work practice, education, youth mental health, clinical supervision, AI applications, and data management, along with career development. Her work consistently strives to bridge the gap between technology and human centric social work practices, preparing professionals to meet challenges of the modern 21st century world. Help me welcome my guest this morning, Dr. Marina Badillo-Diaz. How are you this morning?
Thank you so much, Dr. Rivers Cannon, for having me on your show. And I'm really passionate about AI and social work practice, so I'm excited to get into some great conversation with you about that today.
And great conversation we are about to have. I don't want to belabor because I have a multitude of questions, probably more than this hour will take, but I am definitely, my intent is to definitely dig into all that I have because we know that we are at a time when AI is at the crust or at the top of everything that's going on right now. But I definitely want to have the Eagle family listen to all that you have to share and that you're going to be able to pour in as an expert in this arena. And I know what you're going to say. You're not an expert, but you absolutely have taken the time to do your research and, dig in to find out actually what is happening in this arena. With that being said, can you share your journey as it is into social work and what just inspired you to begin exploring the intersection between social work and artificial intelligence?
Yeah. So, as you heard in my background, right, I'm a former school social worker. I worked in clinical mental health. So, there's no data science background, there's no computer science or engineering. I am really through and through a social worker. But I would say what actually drew me to artificial intelligence was really because of my consulting business. So, in the summer of 2023, I really wanted to rebrand my website, my content, and I kept seeing these reels on my Instagram account, put in this prompt into ChatGPT and you'll get all this free content. And that sort of sparked my interest into trying that out. And I was like, oh, I'm getting a lot of content out of this. I'm not a marketing expert. I'm not a content writer. And I thought, well, if we could do this for my website, what else could it do for my social work practice? And that really what drove me down the rabbit hole because I'm a professor, right? Because I'm a board member, because I do, consulting in schools on social emotional learning and programming. And I was doing clinical supervision. I was really seeing how tools like ChatGPT could really help me do just different tasks of administrative work and writing that I needed to get done. It was helping me save time. It was helping me be more efficient. And also because I'm like, this is free and accessible for everyone to use. Plus, we have our social work background and ethics that we care deeply about. I knew this was just going to be the wave of our future and just really wanted to build a platform to make this accessible for all social workers. And at the same time, really talk about the importance around advocacy of ethical integration with this technology, because there are some concerns about this tech as well, too.
I love that. I love that. See,
Yeah.
colleagues, listen, Dr. Diaz, she is sharing this information with you, and it's her research that she's done. And when I say her, she's taken the time, but it's not something that you're not able to do also. She's dropping the golden nuggets. Get that tea, get that coffee, that warm or cold water. You know, I always like to tell you that, but make sure you're taking notes also, because this is information that you can use. You guys know I love for you to have this information so that you can go back yourself and look over later. You know, I love to bring you that content that you can check out for yourself. I don't want to go too deep, but I do want you to be able to have something you can hold on to. So let's keep this going with this information that she's sharing. Remember those golden nuggets that you could take with you for a little later as well. Oh, the commercial sign is hitting me. Gosh, guys, it's coming so quickly. Do not go away. I promise she is coming back. I promise you. And whoa, what information she's going to have for you. So don't go away. Go ahead and take that break. And while you're on break, grab a friend and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe as well. We're on YouTube. We'll be right back.
Dr. RC will share extraordinary resources and services that promote educational success, as well as making a difference in the lives of all social workers, as well as the lives of children, adolescents, and teens of today. She will have open discussions addressing many of the issues that we face about our youth and how being employed in the uniquely skilled profession of social work for over 18 years has taught invaluable lessons through her personal experiences. She will also provide real-life facts, examples, and personal stories that will confirm that why serving as a child advocate is extremely beneficial when addressing the needs of the whole child. Listen live to Dare to Soar, Saturdays 10 a.m. Eastern, as Dr. RC will provide thought-provoking information that will empower, encourage, and strengthen students, families, and communities across our nation. You can also visit her at soarwithkatie.com. Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness: Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them, rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals.
Welcome back once again, guys. Oh, what a conversation. And we're just tipping the iceberg on it. Social work in the age of artificial intelligence, AI, balancing heart and innovation. I want to dive back into our questions. So, as we get back into our questions, from your perspective, how is AI currently influencing the field of social work, whether in direct practice, research, education, or service delivery?
Yeah, all of the above, Dr. Karen. All of the above. And I will first tackle education because I know this is coming up a lot for professors,
Mhm.
a lot for students. So, I think it's an opportunity for us to be innovative in this space to really think about how, and professors are already doing this, adding artificial intelligence embedded into their assignments so that students can use these AI tools to support them with critical thinking, be able to do research. So, for instance, I teach a grant writing class, and one of the assignments I have students using AI to research grants. So it's one way of really teaching those sort of AI applicable workforce readiness skills because they're going to be using this technology in the field. And I think another way that AI is being used as well in social work practice is in direct practice. There are social workers and there's even agencies who are purchasing AI tools. So they're purchasing AI tools like Microsoft Copilot, which is Microsoft's version of an AI, generative AI chatbot tool. There's also agencies are also purchasing Gemini, which is Google's tool. But then some agencies are also purchasing specific case management or behavioral health AI software where it's actually just embedded in their whole case management system. So there's platforms that can uh, listen in on those counseling sessions or case management sessions. And then immediately after the session is completed, there's a note generated for the practitioner. This can be, of course, time saving. There's other ethical implications for this as well too. But again, there's AI tools that are being used, that are being purchased, and social workers are using these tools to really help them with a lot of administrative tasks, writing tasks, AI scribes, and also in education as well.
Oh, wow. Wow. It's so much out there that can enhance as well as aid in the work that's being done. I'm
Mhm.
not going to say be careful because that's a question that's going to be coming up also. And I don't want to give that away just yet because I know that, I can feel the energy from the listeners that all these, how you have those little question marks when you see the little cartoon phrases that are coming up. I know that I can feel it. I can feel their energy when it comes up. Guys, yes, this is Dare to Soar. I am Dr. RC, and I am speaking with Dr. Marina Badillo-Diaz. What are we talking about? Social work in the age of artificial intelligence, quote unquote AI, balancing heart and innovation. And we're talking about it in social work practice because, what a wave this is right now. Times are changing. We got to keep up with these times. That's why this conversation is so critical and important. So, what are some promising ways AI can be used to enhance social work practice and better meet the needs of clients and communities as well?
Yeah. So one area that I meant to mention earlier, but one way that AI is being embedded into our practice is that our clients are using AI tools. So there actually are
Mm.
specific AI chatbots out there that are designed by mental health practitioners. Like WISA is one of them, alongside as one specifically for school districts, where school districts can purchase an AI chatbot for their youth to use to talk through their problems, ask questions, get social emotional support. And so that's one way that it's impacting practice as well too, is that these tools could be used in alongside of the services that social work practitioners are providing, because we know as social work practitioners we're not available 24/7 for our clients, and we can't be. That's just not part of the work that we do. I'm not advocating that these therapeutic AI chatbots should be replacing social workers and therapists, but I think there's opportunity to really support side by side, especially let's say a client is struggling with panic attacks or insomnia. They could
Yes.
simply go to the chatbot at any time and be able to talk through and walk through. And research is also showing that people are using tools like ChatGPT. And remember, ChatGPT is not mental health designed to support therapeutically, but people are turning to these chatbots for therapeutic support. My concern, right, is that these tools like ChatGPT are not designed by mental health practitioners. They're not designed to ensure client care. So it's really important that if that we explore with our clients, if they want to use an AI chatbot, that we provide, just psychoeducation around those that are specifically designed, like WISA or in school districts to use alongside. But social workers are also using AI tools like Gemini, Claude, ChatGPT to do a lot of these administrative tasks, like develop worksheets, be able to help refine case notes. They're using them to help just sort of brainstorm therapeutic interventions for their clients. They're using these tools to help write emails, to help write letters that they need to write for referrals. I mean, there's so many ways that social workers are using these tools to really help them with a lot of the documentation that honestly eats up a lot of our time as social workers, and really using these tools constructively to help them complete tasks and while saving time and being more efficient.
I'm so happy that you shared about that mental health piece. Because
Mhm.
when we talk about our profession, social work profession, and we always have to hit this home so heavily. Social workers are trained, and I can't say this enough, and I know that I'm preaching to the choir, but let me say that for the masses, the listeners who are currently tuned in and who will hear the playback, trained mental health professionals, and it does not take the place. Yes, it's a fantastic tool to be utilized, and as Dr. Badillo-Diaz shared, it aids. It's not a
Mhm.
replacement. So when we talk about mental health, it is key to understand that it's not that replacement. As she said, it aids in assisting, which is a great segue into
Mhm.
my next question. And I want to ask this question, but I'm going to get started on it. But I know a commercial is coming up, so I'm going to say this with the
Mhm.
preference that we may have to go into a commercial break, and that is, how do you see AI improving access to critical resources, particularly for underserved or marginalized populations? And I know that's a heavy loaded question there.
Yeah.
I know it is. So once again, Eagle family, I know this, and there it is. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming, guys. So I promise you, she is going to respond to that when we return. It's time for a commercial break. We will be right
Mhm.
back.
Did you know that your beliefs create your entire reality, but it's the subconscious beliefs that do most of the creating? Belief shifter and life coach Shiraz can help you identify those limiting beliefs and eliminate them, often in a single session.
Like it was almost instant. Like I had relief right away.
Creating better health, relationships, careers, and finances. Let Shiraz help you step out of safety and into awareness.
Definitely something's happening. It's like a flow inside. Yeah, it feels good.
Whether in person or online, Shiraz provides personal coaching, belief shifting. Visit Shiraz at energeticmagic.com or call 416-529-7429. Energetic Magic. Find your greater happiness. Be well. Be aware. Be magical.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of The Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on The Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Welcome back once again, Eagle family. I told you guys that commercial break. Yes, I'm Dr. RC. Of course I am. This is Dare to Soar. What a wonderful conversation I'm having with my guest this morning. This visionary leader I'm speaking with. Let me share this question with you again that I posed to her right before the break. Here's the question. How do you see AI improving access to critical resources, particularly for underserved or marginalized populations? So there it is. I'm going to have her to answer that question, respond to that question.
Yeah, I think one of the most powerful aspects of generative AI tools out there, like ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, these are some of the few, is that it really increases equity and access to information. I think now more than ever, around the globe, our communities are able to access information, especially those who have disabilities or neurodiversity. I think these tools are really going to be helpful, especially in education, especially in healthcare, that folks who learn differently, who need information like shared a bit differently, can really access these AI tools and just get a ton of information, and also information that really works best for how they learn. So I definitely see that AI is going to really change the game in education and in our healthcare settings. I mean, we're already seeing it right now that AI is being used in healthcare to help with early detection and early diagnosis. That's going to be really important in the healthcare field. And even just access to resources. So even social work agencies, not for profits, community resources, they're using AI tools to be able to, screen clients to be able to best match them to services. This is already happening in the field. And so this thing is another way that equity and access can be increased by this technology.
Outstanding, outstanding. Now I want to take that a little bit further. You've shared with us just a little tip of the ice. So can you give an example as to how AI has already made a positive impact on your work or in a broader field of social work?
Yeah. So, I mean, definitely I'll speak from the I. Certainly it has helped me in so many ways, just being able to accomplish and complete many, many, many of the tasks that we do as social workers. I mean, I think about just school social work practice, right? As school social workers, our client is everyone from the admin to the families to the students, and we have to do so many things. And it's so difficult to get everything that we need to get done. And this technology, I've seen firsthand how it really can help me as my own personal assistant be able to support me in completing some of these tasks that I need to get done. And I'm able now not only to buy back some of my time, have better work life balance, but be able to actually provide and complete some of these, tasks that are really meaningful to the work and to the clients that I serve. So I know I do a lot of work in consulting and training. So I'm just able to better improve the trainings that I provide, activities, but also just do the board work that I do, the research that I do. I mean, I know I'm speaking to the choir because I know Dr. Rivers is also a very busy person. But for me, I just have found it to be also just give me better work-life balance. Our field is incredible. We do so much amazing, amazing work, and it is so easy to go down the slippery slope and experience burnout, compassion fatigue. And
Yes,
so for
yes.
me, I've been able to have better work-life balance because of these tools supporting me and aiding me in that way, not replace my expertise, not replace, my job task, but really just be used as a tool to support me and really just be a personal assistant to help out in a lot of different ways.
Oh, that is so fantastic, fantastic. And I
Mhm.
love when you said not replace you, but
Yeah.
to once again aid you. Eagle family, did you hear that? Dare to Soar audience, are you listening to this? Colleagues, are
Mhm.
you taking all of this in? Because it's important to do this, because we have to advocate so heavily for our roles. You know, and I know when I say this, I know your ears are perking up, those antennas are going off, because oftentimes individuals are constantly consistent saying, well, what is it that social workers do? Hey, speak up for yourselves. Use that advocacy tone, that advocacy voice. Turn up the volume on advocacy, because you do a lot and no tool can replace you. No tool can replace you. It can assist you.
Mhm.
And, work life balance, as Dr. Badillo-Diaz said, work life balance, but it cannot be a replacement for the work that you do. Mental health, no replacement. You are the trained professionals. It cannot replace you. I want you all to really grasp that. I don't want to get on my soapbox because she knows I can really go there, but I'm not going to do that. I'm interviewing her today. It's not my
Yeah.
spotlight.
Mhm.
That's why I like to bring individuals on who can really
Mhm.
speak to the work that's being done. That's key and that's
Mhm.
critical and important. And this topic is certainly important. Social work in the age of artificial intelligence, AI, balancing heart and innovation. And that's what we're talking about. She is definitely a visionary leader. She didn't say that. I'm saying that. She truly is. She's an advocate also. I love her to death. She definitely takes time to do the research and bring
Mhm.
notice to the work that's being done,
Mhm.
that we need to bring done.
Yeah.
Once again, I know I'm going to go into a commercial. I know, I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. But my next question for her is
Mhm.
ethical concerns. And I know that that's always something that comes up, because even in my own
Mhm.
reading, when this comes up, there are ethical concerns and individuals have concerns about it. So my question to her is going to be, Dr. I don't want to say her. I don't like to
Mhm.
say her. What ethical concern, Dr. Badillo-Diaz, what ethical concerns do you believe social workers need to be most mindful of, as AI becomes more prevalent in human services? I'm going to
Mhm.
say, go ahead and get started. I'm not seeing a commercial yet, but I feel it. I feel the energy of that commercial coming on.
You got it, and don't worry, I know this is such an important topic, and I'm definitely happy to do a two-part if we need to, take a break, but really the ethics, and that's what I love about the social work profession, is that we are grounded in our code of ethics, and we
Yes.
have to apply the code of ethics when using this AI technology. Interestingly enough, Dr. Rivers Cannon, and to the audience, there actually isn't official AI guidance from the NASW right now in this moment in time. This is something that we are advocating for. I've been fortunate enough, even last week, I had a conversation with Dr. Yvonne Chase and Dr. Reamer about AI in our profession. And so I learned in that conversation, they are putting together a task force finally to do this work, because we really need to uncover more research how this is impacting the profession. However, the tech code of ethics that were done in 2017 really are foundational, that we can easily apply to how we could use AI ethically and responsibly. So I don't want to give too much away, because I think that break is coming up really
It,
soon.
it
So
is.
we can
It is
definitely pick
time
up.
for it. It is time for it. So I promise, guys, don't go away. This is our Dr. RC, Dare to Soar.
Mhm.
I promise you guys, she's going to delve right back into this
Mhm.
and give you a bit more when we return
Mhm.
from the commercial break. Don't go away. Go get you some more coffee or tea, a little bit more
Mhm.
water. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and grab a friend while we're on this break. We will be right back.
Mike Zorek, a three-time California state champion in Greco-Roman wrestling at 114 pounds. Mike, blind since birth, was born in Hartford, Connecticut. He was a six-time national placer, including 2 seconds, 2/3, and 2/4. He also won the Veterans Folk-Style Wrestling twice at 152 pounds. In all these tournaments, he was the only blind competitor. Nancy Zorek, a creative spirit whose talents have taken her to the stage and into galleries and exhibitions in several states. Her father, a commercial artist who shared his instruments with his daughter and helped her fine-tune her natural abilities, influenced her decision to follow in his footsteps. Ms. Zorek has enjoyed a fruitful career doing what she loves. Listen Saturday mornings at 12 Eastern for the Nancy and Mike Show for heartwarming stories and interesting talk. What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation.
Good Saturday morning once again, Eagle family. Oh, Dare to Soar. Of course, you are tuned in to the right place, and I am Dr. RC. I am here with my wonderful guest who's dropping all of these golden nuggets. Your notebook should be filled, that pen, that pencil, whatever it is that you like to write with, you should be like, oh, I make sure I get that note, that note, that note. But guess what? If you're not here live, you can catch the playback to hear all of the nuggets that she's dropping, this research based information that she's sharing, also because, hey, I'm sure you can find some information that was made just for you and that you can always share as well. So I want to get back right into it. So the last question that I asked Dr. Badillo-Diaz was this: what ethical concerns do you believe social workers need to be most mindful of as AI becomes more prevalent in human services? And she started off with that. So I'm going to ask her to go ahead and pick back up with that response.
Yeah. So this is such an important topic to really ground our use in AI, really in our ethical guidance. So I'm going to definitely acknowledge, right, the NASW had put together a tech code of guidance in 2017. And Dr. Reamer, who's written extensively on the topic of AI and social work practice and ethical considerations of risk management strategies, are really important if you're going to use AI in your practice. So, one of the first key pillars of ethical use is confidentiality. So, we want to uphold privacy, confidentiality of our clients. So, it is really important that if you're going to choose to use an AI tool like ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, especially these free tools, that you're never putting any client identifiable information. So, you're not putting the client's name in your prompt. You're not putting anything that's connected to them, like their address, their phone number. It is so important that you generically just put information relating to your client. Like maybe you're going to be discussing, their interests, that they're working on anxiety and panic disorder, but you're not putting their name connected to that. And that's really important because, again, especially these free AI tools, they are not HIPAA compliant. They are not FERPA compliant. Companies like ChatGPT, OpenAI, they save every single conversation. That company owns that data and information. They test on it. So you want to make sure that you're following your due diligence of not putting anything identifiable. In best practice, I advocate that agencies to purchase AI tools. So when you purchase, say, Microsoft Copilot, it comes with the BAA, a business agreement. When that business agreement is in place, this does allow for more protection and security of the data that's inputted into these AI tools, meaning they won't go to the company to get tested on. And it also allows them to be HIPAA or FERPA compliant if you're working in schools. Again, just still in my own best practice, I wouldn't put any student name or information. But if you can advocate to your agencies to purchase these tools with that BAA agreement, I think that's just in best practice. Because again, we want to make sure that we're following that. There's also HIPAA compliant AI tools like Bastion GBT. So you may want to consider purchasing Bastion GBT if you want a HIPAA compliant AI tool. Another critical concern about AI is that it is not error proof and it is full of bias. So, our human world, right? This is technologies created by humans. Our human world has racism, sexism, classism, right? All the isms. And so now that's ultimately all embedded into AI. So you have to always review the content for accuracy, but also checking for bias, because that could simply even, come up. Like the other day, my dad had surgery. And so I put in the chat GBT just to give me some ideas of gifts to give the surgeon. And it automatically thought it was a he. They thought it was a man, right? Many female surgeons out there. Even my dad's surgeon was a woman, right? But this is just one of the many examples how AI could be biased. So you definitely want to check for biases, check for errors. The other problem too is that AI has a knowledge problem. So a lot of the knowledge that is put into AI comes from, Western, global North knowledge-based sources. So a lot of the historical, indigenous, BIPOC community knowledge is not embedded into these tools. So you always want to make sure that, again, you're acknowledging and recognizing that there's going to be some knowledge gaps in this technology. The other piece is we can't have this conversation without talking about the environment. So, yes, AI, and honestly, if we use any data technologies, if you're doing online banking, if you are binge watching Netflix, if you're using Spotify streaming, this all has an environmental impact. Water is being used to cool down these data warehouses, electricity is being used because AC, air conditioning, is reducing the overheating. And so anytime that we use data and technology platforms, there is an environmental footprint. The concern is that AI is going to just exponentially make this problem even worse because we're in the AI revolution. More data centers are going to be built. It's going to be causing environmental harm to communities as well. So, because our profession cares about social justice, environmental justice, we have to do a due process to hold these companies accountable. We need to be using AI to also help solve problems of the environmental impact and doing our responsibility as individual users to either choose not to use AI tools. That's how some social workers are approaching this. Like, I'm not going to use ChatGPT. Or if you are, you're going to be really intentional about prompting. You're going to be really intentional about not being inefficient or wasting, prompts. You're going to be really mindful about the work that you're doing so that you're getting the most efficiency out of it and the least amount of environmental impact. And of course, finding ways in your everyday world that you can offset your carbon footprint or water usage. And lastly, I do want to also bring up another important thing is that we need our agencies to actually have official guidance and policies. These should be co-written together with all stakeholders, including clients, right? Because this is going to be impacting their services and impacting their data and information, right? That's being given from the agency. So you really want to have parameters for your social workers on best practices, ways that we're not going to use AI in our practice, how there's going to be monitoring so that there aren't ethical concerns or ethical concerns are brought up, that there's a whole due process. And you know what, Dr. Rivers Cannon, I have done over 80 training sessions over the past 2 years. It is so rare to find that agencies have policies. I've trained over 4,000 social workers. It is so rare. And so part of this work of ethical guidance, I always say we need to be pushing for guidance and just policy in our agencies, but even our professional organizations at large too.
Love it. Love it. And what a way to go to a commercial break. Hold
Mm.
on to that. Make sure that you've taken those notes because I know that she's giving you plenty of food for thought. Look at those nuggets that she just dropped for you. We'll be right back at the commercial break.
Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness: Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them, rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of The Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on The Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Welcome, welcome back once again. I am here with my guest, Dr. Marina Badillo-Diaz. Oh my gosh, are you all getting all of this? Artificial intelligence, social work in the age of AI, balancing heart and innovation. I told you she was going to be dropping all these golden nuggets. I know that you all have. How many cups of coffee have you all had? I can feel it. Probably about 4 or 5. Oh, that's probably too much caffeine. But anyway, I want to jump back in. Our time is going by so quickly. I have a few more questions for Dr. Badillo-Diaz. So, Dr. Badillo-Diaz, as technology advances, how can social workers ensure they maintain empathy, compassion, and human connection that define the profession?
Yes. And I think that's exactly it. And this is why I'm so grateful to be a social worker and that we are in this profession together as we move through the next technological honestly revolution with this with AI. A lot of professions are going to really struggle in this change and adaptation, but our profession, because we are human service based profession, same thing with teachers, same thing with doctors and nurses. Our profession is still going to remain, I think, because we are grounded in that human connection, human relationship. That is how we do our services best. We engage with clients, we engage the community. And keeping that at the center is not only going to help us keep our profession going, even in the face of other professions going to be no longer even existing because of this artificial intelligence, that I do truly believe our profession will still remain because we are a human centered practice. It's so important that we stay grounded in the human connection. A lot of this technology, it is so easy to go down the slippery slope. This is conversations that come up with students, other social workers, right? It's just so easy to mindlessly just use this and not use your critical thinking skills. So it's so crucial to not only stay connected to your clients, but also to stay connected and reflecting on your own practice, right? Because you are the human expert, you know your clients best. You also need to review, edit, use your critical thinking skills anytime that you use generative AI tools. And I think that's going to keep us grounded as we move forward.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Staying grounded. In other words, being true to yourself and who you really are in this profession. And
Mm,
for goodness sakes, always remember to go back to your why. She didn't say that, but I'm just going to add my little 2 cents into that. But that is
mhm,
so critical. When you go back to your why, that's going to
mhm.
help you with that as well. So as we continue to move forward, if you could establish one guiding principle for how social workers integrate AI into practice, what would it be and why?
This is one of the hardest questions because there's so many things that I want to add, right? But I think the guiding principle is, and again, I go back to your title of our talk, which is the heart and the innovation, is that keep your heart, keep the human centeredness in this work, and be open to being adaptive, pivoting, and innovative in this space with AI. I think this is what's going to help us carry us through. All professions are struggling right now of how we're going to move through the digital age of AI. Teachers, doctors, all the professions are figuring out how we're going to move through this. And I think those two central, I think, values are going to really carry us through, that we keep the heart, we keep the humanity, and that we also are open to pivoting and adapting to move forward.
And and moving from that, before I get to my last question, what type of resources would you like to offer to social workers that they could utilize? And I know that you have a plethora of them that you
Yeah.
could offer to them as well.
Yes. So I'll first start with just some platforms that are out there and highlight some really great work. So Agents of Change, they do a lot of continuing education credits. So you could actually take a free CE course with Agents of Change. They have a free CE course on using ChatGPT for social work practice. Free, accessible. You even get a CE credit out of it. So I think it's a great place to start. The NASW also has a whole bunch of just websites, articles that if you simply just Google NASW and AI, you'll find a lot of websites, just articles that they've published on their website to support social workers who are interested in learning more about AI. Now, for my own platform, I am someone who's really passionate about access and resources. If you go to my website, the AIsocialworker.com, I have not only a free guidebook that has over 30 different social work fields, specific prompts to those fields. So there's over 30 different professions like healthcare social workers, veterinarian, medical, or if you're working in the military, school social work, right? There's definitely prompts in there for you. I also have a free prompt library that has over 30 free prompts across micro, meso, macro practice. Simply just go to the website, go to the prompt library. I also have a list of just AI tools, a lot of the ones that we talked about today, like ChatGPT, Gemini. I even have some AI scribes. I'm not getting any payback from any company. It's just me who just is so passionate about this work of really wanting to make it accessible for our field. So I post a lot of content on the website. I have a blog that has a lot of information and an Instagram account to the AIsocialworker.com. Sorry, the AI social worker. And then the website is the AIsocialworker.com. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. See, all of these tips that Dr. Badillo-Diaz is sharing with you, it is amazing the information that is out there, wealth of knowledge. And she is not, as she's Dr. Badillo-Diaz said, no kickback. It is just free knowledge to enhance your vocabulary and to put in your toolbox as well, or if you want to call it a toolkit, so that you'll be able to,
Mhm.
expand. I don't want to say your territory, but that's what it is. It is expanding opportunities for you as well, so you can go back and pull things out as you need them. We always talk about knowledge being power, and that's so critical in the work that we do. So, well, let me ask this
Mhm.
question. Since I say we have a little bit more
Mhm.
time, what advice would you give to a social worker who just, sometimes you can feel nervous because something is new uh, about things?
Mm.
Well, let me say this. It's time for commercial break. I have a few more minutes before I wrap up. So I ask that when I come back.
Sounds good, Dr. Rivers Panel.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of The Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on The Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Dr. RC will share extraordinary resources and services that promote educational success as well as making a difference in the lives of all social workers as well as the lives of children, adolescents, and teens of today. She will have open discussions addressing many of the issues that we face about our youth and how being employed in the uniquely skilled profession of social work for over 18 years has taught invaluable lessons through her personal experiences. She will also provide real-life facts, examples, and personal stories that will confirm that why serving as a child advocate is extremely beneficial when addressing the needs of the whole child. Listen live to Dare to Soar, Saturdays 10 a.m. Eastern, as Dr. RC will provide thought-provoking information that will empower, encourage, and strengthen students, families, and communities across our nation. You can also visit her at soarwithkatie.com.
Welcome back once again, dear to Soar family. Oh, this is Dr. RC, and we are wrapping up. Dr. Padilla Diaz has been gracious enough to share her knowledge, her wisdom, her advocacy as well. So, as my final two questions for her, what advice would you give to social workers who may feel hesitant or just intimidated by emerging technologies like AI?
Yeah. So I would say start small, and try not to overwhelm yourself. Just know it takes about 8 to 10 hours of practicing using AI tools to get really effective at prompting and getting the most, out of your AI tools. So I would say start small, like a small task, maybe this upcoming week. Maybe you're struggling to write an email, or that you need to put together a letter template for a referral. I mean, and you could also go to the website, the AIsocialworker.com, to help you find some prompts that could really help you. And of course, be in learning community. Talk to your fellow colleagues about your concerns. Let's be that sort of bridge and connection with each other to talk about AI in supervision, talk about AI with our colleagues. I think we're only going to get better when we build a learning community as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And would you please share your social media handle if they would like to learn more about AI?
Yes. So you can find me at the AI Social Worker on Instagram. I'm also very active on LinkedIn. So you could simply find me by typing in my name as well into LinkedIn, and search for me. I'm always welcoming new, followers and connections on the LinkedIn platform. And again, my website, the AIsocialworker.com, is another way to get all that free information and content. So thank you again so much, Dr. Rivers Cannon, for this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Social work in the age of artificial intelligence. As we close this conversation today, I'm reminded that while technology continues to evolve, the heartbeat of social work remains the same: the human connection. Artificial intelligence may shape the systems we use, but it can never replace compassion, the advocacy, or the presence that defines who we are as social workers. The real power lies in how we choose to blend innovation with intention, using these tools not to distance ourselves, but to deepen our reach and amplify our impact. Dr. Marina Badillo-Diaz, thank you for helping us to see AI it's not about algorithms or automation. It's about opportunity to reimage how we serve and how we protect and how we empower those depend on us the most. To every listener tuned in today, I hope you walk away with a renewed confidence to embrace change with courage and curiosity. Let us lead this new digital era with not fear, but with purpose of ensuring that empathy remains our greatest technology of all. Until next time, guys, continue to rise beyond your limits, stay inspired, and keep daring to soar. I am Dr. RC. Thank you for joining me, and never be afraid to elevate to new heights as you dare to soar. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your week.
This has been Dare to Soar with your host, Dr. RC. Come take a ride and soar to your highest level possible each week on Dr. RC's Dare to Soar.